That was one of the first countries I'd ever seen bootleg Ignite shirts on the street as we were walking up to this festival.
What?
And yeah, and it was tons of stuff. And I was just like, wow, that's kind of cool.
Did you buy one of them? Did you buy one of the bootlegs?
No, I didn't. I was just checking them out, though. It was pretty cool, though.
Cool, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Sludge Underground. I have an exciting guest all the way from Orange County, California, who are going to be making a debut appearance in South Africa pretty soon. Introduce yourself and what it is you do.
What is up, guys? This is Brett from the band Ignite. And I play bass, and we are in our hotel room right now in San Jose, California, after the first show of our little West Coast run. So we're here. We're making this work.
No, fantastic. And you guys are coming through to South Africa. I believe it is the 14th. You're playing in my city on the 14th of March, but you guys are coming down a little bit sooner.
Yeah,
This is going to be your first time in South Africa, right?
definitely. Our first time on the continent in general. So we are like pretty pumped because it was always this kind of like idea, this kind of dream, like, because once we heard bands were starting to go down there like a while ago, like 20 years ago, we're like, how is this happening? And who do you, so we tried to make some connections a while ago and never could figure out how to make it work. And yeah, so we are absolutely pumped to come down somewhere new and go do this whole tour.
We're quite lucky that we're getting like a couple of like more international bands coming through to South Africa. I mean, recently this year I got to see, like I think it was the year before last, I got to see Caligula's Horse. I got to see Devil Wears Prada recently, and it's been rad getting to see all of these bands coming through to South Africa. They've been really helping like the local scene as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for us, it started with the first band that I knew coming down was No Effects, and they did that on their backstage passport. And then we heard about, God, I think it was Lagwagon and maybe Mad Caddies, but then hardcore bands started going down. Like Comeback Kid, I think, did a pretty thorough run down there, and so all that was just like, man, how are these things happening? And why can we do it? Is it possible? And so yeah, so I mean, just the chance to do it now is like super exciting for us.
Do the guys from like Fuzigish have a role in that? In like, are they your like connection in getting across here?
100%. We did in Slovenia this past summer, we did the Punk Rock Holiday Festival, and we were on the day with Malcom and a bunch of other great bands. And I was in the hotel lobby, and this guy goes, "Hey, are you in Ignite?" And I go, "Oh yeah, hey, how you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, my name's Malcolm. I play in this band Fuzigish. We're from South Africa." I was like, "Oh, man," I go, "We would love to get down there someday." And he's like, "Why don't you go?" And I was like, "I don't have any contacts. I've tried to reach some guys over the years, and nothing ever materialized." And he's like, "Well, here, take my number down. Let's make this happen." But you never know if that's just, some talk, some banter. And so we started chatting immediately. And this kind of came together really fast because, like, the original goal, I was like, maybe we could do Ramfest or something next year and anchor it around that. And then he said, cool, I can talk to those guys, but let me reach out to this other festival. And this was like in November and or end of October, November. And then he was just like, hey, this Millie Pop Festival wants you guys to come out. I'm like, let's do it. It's like 4 months away, but whatever. So it all came together really fast. And yeah, Malcolm, the Fuzzy-ish guys are the 100% reason why this whole thing's happening. And he's putting the shows together. He's just a really cool guy. And without him, none of this would be possible. So yeah, that's awesome.
Absolutely. Like the Fuzzigish guys are local legends around here. Like I've been going to fuzzy shows for like 10 plus years at this point. So
Nice.
and having to get a chat to get the chance to chat to like Jay Bones, who's the vocalist. Actually Malcolm, if I'm not mistaken, is the bassist, and also like a really rad dude. And I know exactly what you mean, where it's like, oh, is this just talk? Like, is something actually
Yeah,
going to come out of this? But like, lucky for you guys, of all the people you could have spoken to, it had to be those guys because they just make shit happen. Like, it's great.
100%. Yeah, like radio interviews and press and just all this really cool stuff that we've been like working on. And I was just like, it's this full like PR campaign, and it's just two guys from two bands. making all this stuff happen. So it's just like it's pretty impressive, and we're pretty thankful for this whole scenario. So
You guys have said like coming over to Africa, like specifically South Africa, has been like a dream for a while. And was it just like a case of because you had seen other bands coming here, or is it just like you guys play a lot of shows all around? Has it just been a kind of thing of just wanting to touch as like many grounds as possible?
anytime you see a band go play somewhere, we are always like, how do we go there? I don't care where it is. Like, my cousin was in South Korea one time and he goes, hey, I'm going to go see this band called Terror. I was like, what? They're going to South Korea? And he's because he was stationed over there in the military. I'm like, yeah, go tell the guys what's up. And he went and hung out with those guys. And I was like, how do you get to South Korea? So anytime you see bands play anywhere, it's always like you have serious FOMO. You're like, why did they get to go there? Why don't we get to go there? So that was exactly the case with this. It was like it seemed like more and more bands were starting to go there um, over the past 10, 15 years, and we were just like, then it kind of fell off my radar, and I was like, I don't think this is ever going to happen until I saw Malcolm this past summer, and then I was like, oh, it's back on. Let's go.
Yeah, that's like absolutely fantastic. And like you said, it's crazy that it happened in such a short space of time. Like it would have been rad to see you guys at Ramfest, but that time frame, especially you're telling me about that this was like towards the end of October, November, I think that lineup was like already like set in stone. But Millipop is also a great one to get on because it's one of the bigger festivals like within the country as well, especially like for the alternative side of things. And then I see you guys with Millipop. There's three other shows that you guys are playing, two in Cape Town and then the one in Johannesburg as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then we're playing a place called Cock Bay, which I guess the venue's right on the beach. So that's yeah, that was added as well. So it's 4 club shows, the festival, and then I mean, we're super excited to play all these shows, of course, but we want to see some stuff too. We are totally culture sponges. We love to go experience all the food, the nightlife, the culture, the any like we go to touristy stuff too. We're just like, let's go see the cheesy stuff too. Like we want to take a picture in front of, the Coliseum. We want to go do all the touristy stuff because it's fun. We love doing all that stuff, and we like getting into weird stuff too. Like when we were in Moscow, we went in these underground like crazy like what were they like catacombs or something? Yeah, catacomb bars in Moscow, and we were just like down there eating borscht and like getting crazy. So it's like we like to get into it. We like to experience everything.
That's really like just getting into the trenches of like a country's culture is great. So I assume like you guys are going to do the things of like go on a safari. You're going to go like see the animals and stuff like so the things that like South Africa's known for. Go to Table Mountain, those kind of things.
Yep. Yep. Definitely on on our radar to do all that stuff. So the more the better. I mean, we're up for whatever. So we're not scared.
It's absolutely great though, because it's like if you're going to go to all these countries, like what's the point if you don't also just get to experience those countries for what they are as well? I feel like with like I've personally never managed to tour like across my own country, let alone internationally. So I can't imagine how tiring and draining that must be. But also just that pure excitement of getting to see all of these new things. I'm pretty sure that would just overwhelm the desire for sleep too.
Yeah, it's going to be wild because so we are on this little West Coast run. We're in San Jose, California today. We play in Redding, California tomorrow, and then we travel up to Portland, Seattle, and Vancouver to play with Gorilla Biscuits the last 3 shows of this run, and then we're flying from Vancouver via London Heathrow to Johannesburg. And I was looking at the flights, and it was like 29, 30 hours. I'm like, wait, and I was like, yeah, it's 12 hours to London, and then it's a 4 hour layover, and then it's another 12 hours from London to Johannesburg. And we're like, holy crap. That's definitely going to be our farthest flight we've ever done by far.
Yeah, that I can imagine. I can't imagine spending that much time on a plane, let alone like just stuck somewhere else. That's absolutely wild. And then, if I'm not mistaken, when you're done here in South Africa, there's also like another run of shows that you've got doing through Canada, I believe. Like that's in like May, June.
We got a lot of shows coming up this year. So we got Canada, we're going to be over in the UK and Europe like 3 or 4 times this year. Um, Yeah, just trying to book as much as we can. We just finished our new record, so we're working on getting the whole release set up, and yeah, It's a busy year for us, so it's good. It's good because it's like this is what we want to be doing, and we're doing it. You know, we're working hard. You know, that's one thing we've always tried to do is like work hard and you know have fun at the same time.
And like the band's been going since '93, and you're one of the
Yeah,
founding members. Like
yeah.
how what is it that allows you to just to so consistently do it for such a long span of time? Because this is what 30, 32, 33 years now that
Yeah.
you've been doing this consistently. Like as far as I'm aware, the band has been moving at this pace for pretty much the entirety of like those 33 years.
You know, we didn't have that like MTV big radio moment where we got like giant. It's been this slow rise where we've just either maintained like our popularity levels in certain countries or whatever, or had a gradual growth. And that's made it possible to do this. You know, we've been able to put records out. We've been able to get lucky enough to play in over 50 countries and just have this opportunity to grow as a band. And, you know, it, you can only tour if people come out to your shows. So, I mean, luckily enough, we've been able to continue to draw people in places around the world and people come out and sing our songs. And, you know, that's pretty much like how this whole thing's happened. And I mean, to be honest, like as a musician, as a songwriter, as a performer, it doesn't get any better than playing the songs you wrote on stage to people, singing them back to you, whether it's like 50 people in a pub or thousands of people at the festival. It's amazing. I mean, these are songs we wrote at home. These are songs we worked on for the past 20, 30 years, and it's a blessing that we get to do this. You know, we're lucky. Not a lot of people get to do this, and we don't take it for granted at all. So, you know, we try and take advantage of all this and have fun with it.
Yeah, like irrespective of the feeling or irrespective of the amount of people, it's still a hell of a rewarding feeling nonetheless. Like I can fully understand that. And like who are like I don't know if you've had the chance to like with you guys being so busy and like on the road constantly, have you had a chance to check out like any of the South African bands that you're potentially going to be playing with?
Not a ton. I was checking out some of the Fuzigish songs after hung out with Malcolm and was talking to those guys. And it was funny. I was doing a radio interview the other day, and they're like, "What are your three favorite Fuzigish songs?" I'm like, "I'm horrible with song titles." I was like, "Don't put me on the spot like that." No, but um, yeah, so, no, but I want to definitely, and I was watching a few of your guys's Sludge Underground videos the other day, and you guys are, doing interviews with a bunch of heavy bands from down there, and it's like, we play with such a wide spectrum of bands from, like, Hatebreed to Bad Religion and everything in between, so the punk all the way to, metal and all that stuff, so our band is pretty widespread on the kind of music we like and listen to, so, yeah, we like a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it's nice to be like diverse to have diverse lineups in a sense of like I like shows that are catered to like a specific sound, but some of the most fun is like when the different crowds come together. That can also be a ton of fun, and it's just cross pollinating, And then in
I
regards to
agree.
being asked to name three songs, I can be disgustingly educated on a topic, and you can ask me just a simple question about that topic on the spot. I'm gone. I'm
Get
done.
stumped.
See, yeah, like I may as well have not have a single brain cell left in me, so I can completely relate to that as well. Like, no offense to the band, like I spent 80% of my time involved in the South African music scene, and sometimes people ask me a question, I'm like, uh,
I don't know.
no.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
no idea. So how long have you guys been doing the Sludge Underground, and how is it going?
We've been doing this for a long time. Naz and I have been in the trenches of the South African music scene for pretty much 10 years now. We
That's
started this
awesome.
project back in 2016. We're just two dudes who really love South African music. So it's just, and no one else was doing it. No one else was talking to them.
And that's cool, man. I mean, you guys have this platform, you guys do all these videos, and I think it's awesome. I love what you guys. I got pumped up when I started because I was like doing some research on bands and the whole scene, and you guys' thing popped up, and I was like, "What is this?" And I started watching the videos and checking it out. And dude, hats off to you guys for like helping the scene, how you guys are doing. I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome what you guys are doing.
I can't express how much I appreciate that praise. Thank you so much. Like that absolutely means the world to me, as well as it'll definitely mean the world to Naz and Meegs as well, who are Naz. You his face you've seen a lot. Meegs is kind of like the background. She's the one who keeps everything together. Everyone has that one person who's like behind the scenes. That shit would fall apart without them. So
Yep, totally. You need those. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
you said you guys are in the process of you've just finished your new record and you're busy, like in the process of getting like the release done. How is that going? Like, is it? Are you allowed to say when it's dropping? Is this like common information yet? Or
Yeah, we don't have a date yet. We just mastered it this week, and we are we are currently unsigned for the first time in probably 15, 20 years. So it's kind of this cool freedom to go talk to labels and look at all these different scenarios to put a record out because the climate's changed so much in the record industry. A lot of bands are just doing it themselves. But then vinyl's so popular, so you got to have people pressing this stuff and distributing it. So it's kind of like trying to figure out the puzzle pieces that fit for our scenario. Like, what's going to be the best way to market this thing, get it to our fans, make it cheap, make it so people aren't paying crazy import prices. And then also talk to a few labels, dream label that we've always wanted to work with, you know. So so it's pretty widespread right now. We're just kind of digging into the label side of things and how to approach it. We have definitely some ideas in mind of how we could put the record out, but I want to make sure we like turn over every stone and like see all the well, as many as we can, opportunities or people who are interested, because you kind of can't put a price on when you find a label or a person that really is fired up and wants to push your album and push your band. So we, you know, that's those elements are super important. So we want to talk to a bunch of people and yeah, and get the record out this year, start rolling out songs, doing music videos like we normally do, and then get this thing going. We're ready to play some new music, you know. We're ready to play a few new songs. So that's kind of where we're at with our whole album scenario.
yeah, and like I can also I feel like with obviously the band having had like such a long lifespan, you guys have a lot of songs. Like rotating out songs and set list, deciding what goes into a set list must be extremely like challenging sometimes.
We've been around so long that some of the songs we've written that people aren't alive, weren't alive when those songs came out. So, you know, and luckily for us, luckily we have some younger fans that are still coming to the show, and we're getting these younger fans. So, you know, we're that's amazing for that. But sometimes when you play really old songs, people ask if they're new songs because they've never heard them before. So I don't know. Yeah, we got a lot of tunes.
Must be such an interesting contrast. And like you know, you say that you're unsigned at the moment. Uh, was that just like where the contract kind of ended and you guys are in that like limbo space in between, or has it more just been to try and embrace that freedom of not having a label and kind of just doing your own thing for a bit?
Well, our label had a big shift at the label, and we were able to get out of the deal. So it was kind of, you know, a bunch of guys, friends that I've talked to in bands are like, being unsigned in 2026 is a pretty good place to be because you could pretty much control, you know, if you have label interest or if you have a plan, which we do. And so far, and but yeah, I'm just excited to like go talk to people and see what, you know, the potential scenario is for this release. So pretty
Yeah,
exciting.
no, that's fantastic. And like you were saying that you want to try and get it to your fans like as cost effectively as possible. And I think that's not something that a lot of people really consider. Like a lot of the guys are just over, okay, let's get this out there, let's get it done and whatnot. And I don't think they really like consider the cost of it to their fans, especially like with the current like global economic climate. Like a lot of people just really can't afford anything, irrespective of where you go. And like it's really like cool, like in my opinion at least, that you guys are considerate of that fact as well.
Well, I mean, we've been doing this a while now, so you know, we have friends that own record shops in like Berlin and just different parts of the world, and so we get to talk to these guys about how expensive records are, and you know which distributors are the best, and so we have some inside knowledge, the inside track to how to make things kind of run smoother for us, and so I talk to these guys all the time and bounce ideas off them, guys that run record shops and you know, just a bunch of people from just being in the music scene for so long, and you want to make it so people aren't paying like $50 for your album because they're paying all these taxes and import fees and all this stuff. So yeah, it's important for us to make the stuff readily available. I mean, first of all, digital's available everywhere, right? We have your whole discography of all the bands you follows in your pocket. So that's cool. But people collect, vinyl, and people are really into like buying colored vinyl and albums, and having a physical product. So that's where we get into the whole thing about making that part affordable for the fan base.
No, I think physical media is honestly at a stage now where it is one of the most important like aspects of art. Like with the nature of the direction like of everything, or like where digital media is going, and like a lot of corporations pushing of you don't own anything, you don't own this, you don't, like, it can just be taken away from you at any time. And like for me personally, like when it comes to music, that thought horrifies me. Like I like if I want to listen to a song, I like, and it just can get ripped off the internet for whatever reason, that that's a scary thought. So like I personally believe like in that physical media supremacy, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I love it too, and I love listening to vinyl. I like putting a record on in my room. It's the whole experience of doing that's awesome. But I mean, the digital aspect of this whole thing, we watched our fan base. I mean, you get that spot, you get your Apple Music and your Spotify and all these like reports at the end of the year, and it's been crazy to watch it grow from how many countries listen to Ignite around the globe. It's most of them. It's weird, and we've been to 50, which is a good amount, but that's barely a third of all the countries that that are listening to our music. So, yeah, it's cool. The digital era's made it able to, like, go play places that we never thought we could have before to connect with these fans.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, like the positives are obviously not something that you can like overlook. So like you absolutely cannot like overlook that it's helped bands reach audiences that they could have never possibly imagined. That I will never deny.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
like it just with that obviously with that caveat of we're scared of what corporations could possibly do with it. So it's still like an interesting, like it's a, you got to weigh your pros and cons. Digital media is obviously made like is like a bread and butter for a lot of artists. That's how they reach people in the first place. Like people are going to listen to you, and your hope is that they become a big enough fan that they will buy your physical media.
Yeah, and I mean, other physical items too, like, t-shirts and hats and all the merchandise stuff that comes with it too. So, I mean, all that, none of that, you can't download any of that.
My name is Mike Taylor. I'm a graphic designer from Durban. I've been a fan of Sludge Underground since we both started coming up together in the alternative music scene. I jumped at the opportunity to help them with the merch design. I often do clean branding for people, so I thought this would be a cool opportunity to mix styles and have something that has a lot of grit yet is still modern looking. Sludge's approach has always been a mix of artists, different genres of music, and I really thought the streetwear apparel would lend well to their brand, and it inspired me to create something classic yet bold for them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, and like I assume like merch sales for you guys are also like a big part of what helps you get going on tour and stuff as well.
Yeah, it always has been. I mean, it's always been a big part of, I think, most punk and hardcore bands and metal bands. It's like, you go out there, you sell some tickets, sell a few t-shirts, move on to the next city, rinse and repeat. And that's kind of the name of the game is, get some t-shirts out there, get some people walking around the cities with your shirts on, walking billboards. And yeah,
Do you guys man like your own merch tables, like at shows, at festivals?
tonight I did. Me and Nick were slinging the merch tonight because we're just in the van with just a couple of us. So, but I mean, Europe, we have merchandise or guys that we work with. So it's kind of case by case. It's basically, can we afford to have one? Sometimes we can, sometimes we can't. Just depends what the budget is.
I'm sure like you guys run into some like interesting encounters at merch tables. I've like heard stories of like interesting things happening at merch counters. You get to actually meet people, have a chat with them, and those type of things. It's not so much something that like I experience in South Africa. Like I've been the merch guy at a couple of shows where I'll be doing merch for like some of the bands, and I don't know, like all the stories that I see, like coming from the states or from other areas of like those interactions at merch tables seem so different to the ones that I've experienced firsthand within my own scene. So like the live music culture in the states is obviously very different. It's been like going for a lot longer than South Africa's. Like so I've always found it interesting, like to see what those parallels are, like as to what I'm experiencing to versus what the experience would be there.
I think it's got to be pretty similar. There's a lot of cool people and there's a lot of punishers. So I think you get you get a mix. I think everywhere, and it's fun. Like tonight we were just in this venue. It was cool. We were hanging out with like a bunch of people. There was some guys from the East Coast that came that hadn't seen us in a long time, and you just get to chat and mingle with the people. I think it's a great way to connect with your fans. Absolutely.
Yeah, and like with you guys having been to so many countries, like what was the most unexpected one where you got like the biggest response that you guys sit there and were like, well, I didn't expect this to come out from this audience?
I mean, we've like Indonesia has been crazy. Like we've been there a couple times, and that's a place where you haven't sold that many records there because a lot of times you get your reports on where your sales come from. And when we got there, we played this big metal fest, and there was thousands of people singing the words. And I'm like, that's the power of streaming music right there. So I thought it was cool. Indonesia's cool. It's a great country. I was just talking to our booker over there a couple days ago, and they're trying to find a festival or a show for us to play on this year. So yeah, that was cool. And I thought that was like the proofs in the pudding that like streaming and the digital era is like can spread your songs everywhere if people have access to them. It's cool.
No, that is actually incredible. Like Indonesia, actually, now that you mention it, I think I remember seeing like a clip of, I think it might have been like a Viking metal battle that happened there, or a metal show. And I also remember being like, what is this crowd? What am I watching? This is insane. Like
That was one of the first countries I'd ever seen bootleg Ignite shirts on the street as we were walking up to this festival.
what?
And yeah, and it was tons of stuff, and I was just like, "Wow, that's kind of cool." And normally, you think people would be mad that your merch is getting bootlegged, but I thought it was cool. I was like, "Oh, these people," and it was all like weird colors and weird designs that we don't normally do, and I was just like, "Go for it, do it, spread the word."
Did you buy one of them? Did you buy one of the bootlegs?
No, I didn't. I was just checking them out, though. It was pretty cool, though.
It would be great though. Like I think, would they recognize you? Would they know who you are? Like that would be really like funny.
Luckily, yeah, there was a ton of people out on the street, so I was like, "Okay, is this gonna get weird?" Like, are people? But no, everybody's rad down there. It was cool. It was very mellow.
It reminds me of a story where I saw a clip of one of the Bless the Fall guitarists talking about how him and I think the other guitarist were working at a merch, and he was like, "Thanks, thanks, man." Like, yeah.
Okay.
Like I genuinely think like live music culture is one of the things that has to be preserved because that you can enjoy music, but I don't think you've really fully experienced it until you have been to shows, until you have actually gone to go be a part of it. Because yeah, that changed my life, that's for sure.
I think the hardcore scene that we're in, the punk and hardcore scene, is that's 100%. Like, so much is in the live show and that experience of being in that room with those people and that community and that vibe and that energy. You definitely can put the music on your headphones or in the car and enjoy the songs, but I mean, nothing. I mean, I can remember the first time I saw Every Time I Die. I was just like, what is going on in this room? It was mayhem or like a big like hate breed show or like we play with Terror a lot. And it's nuts, and you can't like. There's no way to like explain that to somebody without going to like a punk or a hardcore show. It's like as much a part of the experience, I think, as just listening to the music is going to the show and having that whole experience of being in the room with the band. Um, it's awesome. Just like tonight, we had this amazing show. These everybody was super into it, and it was just fun. It was just fun for us to be on stage and seeing people like getting into it. It's like so rewarding. It's awesome.
No, absolutely. And do you have a message for the South Africans who are excited to see you guys? Do you have a message for the South African audience in general that I can use as a little reel, as a clip to get them excited?
We are finally coming down to see you guys, and it's been a long time coming. And I mean, I can't put into words really how excited we are because it was like check that box, like get down there, see the culture, see the country, play the shows. I mean, we're excited about every aspect of coming down there to South Africa.
No,
Because I mean,
fantastic.
you never know, and you never know how many times you're going to get to go to a place. So it's like to do this at least once is like huge for us. It's huge for everybody in the band.
Yeah, it's a big deal for us as well. I'm personally stoked. I can't wait to see you guys at Sonage. That's the show that I'm going to be at. So I'll definitely pull through and say hi. And yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to have a chat with me. I know you guys must be exhausted. Uh, it's been an absolute blast. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Dude, thank you for the time. Thank you for making this work so quick. I know we were trying to connect via email and it kind of got a few emails got lost and stuff. But yeah, I'm just stoked you guys have taken the time to like take an interest in this tour and our trip down there. And we're really looking forward to doing this.
Fantastic. Brett, thank you so much. All the best for the rest of the shows, and we'll see you in South Africa soon.
Okay, yeah, very soon, like in a week or so. Week, well, a little over, whatever. I don't even know what day it is right now, to be honest, but
Not surprising. I don't blame you.